welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I'm doing a soap using this fragrance from Nature's Garden. It's called Moon Dust. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm going to grab my computer before we get into it, and I'll read the scent description to you. It's really, really nice. And moon dust, so of course, you know I've got to do some moon embeds. So today I'm using these little column molds I got from Amazon, and I'll leave a link down below. So I have to make my moons first. I'm going to do cold process moons, and for the color swirl on my moons, I'll just leave it uncolored with a swirl of this silver mist from Nurture Soap. This is beautiful. It is just so subtle, pretty, a little like lavender mist in the gray color. It's perfect. To me, it's like a crater moon color. So I want to do an in the pot swirl in my moon embeds with that. So this is a 2-day process. So I have to make the moon soap first, get those poured, let them set overnight before I unmold, and then we're going to come back for the main body of the soap. And what I want to do for a color swirl, I want to do neutral gray from Nurture Soap again, and this is pretty. It's not a super gray. It's got a little brownish tinge to it, but I like it. It kind of reminds me of nighttime, along with a little swirl of gorgeous blue from Wholesale Supplies Plus. That's going to be the swirl in the body, and then we'll put those moon embeds down in there. I think it's going to be really pretty. And then on top, I might do just some sparkly mica on top, glitter to just make it look like maybe a starry night or something. And today I'm going to be using aloe vera juice in the lye solution for this soap, because I don't know, it sounded good to me. So aloe vera juice is going to be the lye solution for this. And let me get everything prepped and ready to go to make those moons, and we will come back and make some moon dust soap. Okay, I am ready to make my soap embed soap here. I've got the lye solution ready, the oils and butters all ready, and I will leave the recipe for this soap that I'm doing right now. I'll leave it down in the description box below in percentage form. I'm making about a 3.5 pound batch right now because I have 2 different sets of embeds to make. So I'm going to have to kind of proceed here. I'm just pouring all my embeds, but right now I'm ready to pour the moon embeds. It's going to be the first one that I pour, and then after I get that done, I'm going to be pouring my heart embeds, and then I have some flower molds off to the side. So I've got a lot of embeds to go. That's why I chose the size that I did, but I will leave this recipe in percentage for you down below. But for right now, here's my lye solution that just has some cane sugar and sodium lactate in here, and the sodium lactate really helps unmolding little intricate molds like this. The sodium lactate really helps when you comes time to unmold tomorrow, so I really like it in there. If you don't have sodium lactate, you can use regular salt at a rate of 1 teaspoon per pound of oils. You dissolve the salt in your water, make a salt water solution. That also helps harden your soap up. So there's a tip for you. But right now, I'm going to get this mixed in here and just come up to an emulsion, a very light trace, because I got a lot of pouring to do. I have 2 different fragrances to work with. Lots of fiddly business here, so I want to move very slowly as I go through here. So we're just going to come up to an emulsion, make sure everything's blended perfectly, and we'll get to the moon portion first. And then we'll get on to our hearts and flowers, and I have 3 colors for those. So yeah, I definitely don't want things speeding up on me. This recipe is a 55% olive oil, so it's got a heavy on the liquid oil, so hopefully it will move slowly, and I did that on purpose so that I would have some time to work here. has been several days since I poured my Moon Dust column mold embeds. So let's unmold these and I'll show you how I measure it to fit them in my mold. And I like to get that all done before I even start making the base soap so that I don't even have to worry about it, you know, and have a panic situation. So I like to have these all prepped and ready. So let's get these unmolded. It's just super simple. You literally just grab the top. And let me just say, when you're using cold processed soap to make your embeds, it's good to wait several days. Even though I use sodium lactate, it just really helps. Now, if you're doing melt and pour, you can unmold it as soon as it's cooled off. You're good to go. But cold process, give it a couple days. It's well worth the wait. It just makes the hassle so much easier. So, and that just peels right off. And then I like to start the top, grab the embed here, and just gently peel off. And there is my moon. Now it's got a little bit of rough edge where the seam was, and so I will just take a damp cloth and smooth that out. Or take my little knife here and just gently sort of, and I pulled a little aggressively, so I have some little craters in my moon, and I actually don't mind that at all because it's a moon and moon has craters. So let me get the rest of these out and then we will go ahead and cut them to size. Alright, first things first, I like to cut off the end because it's just kind of dull and I want all of the bars to have a nice little cratery, swirly looking moon. So I cut one end off, just a little sliver, and then I'm going to just put one end in touching, hold it over here, and make a mark where the mold is. So it's got a little slash in it. Go ahead and cut. You want a straight edge when you're cutting cold processed soap. Don't use a serrated knife unless you want little waffly looking things, but a smooth straight edge is the best knife to use on cold process. And just go down slowly. It's going to be cute. And there, a little bit of raggedy. There's our little moon. Isn't that cute? Now I come in here and just check. Make sure I'm going to be able to get it in there without hitting any edge. Now this is my ruler for the other two molds, or the other two slabs. So I just set that down. And again, I've got the little soda ash top part here. I'm going to go ahead and just lop that off because I know this is longer than I need anyway. And we want to see the little moon craters. So cute. And now this is my measuring stick. I'll come here. Cut. Oh, these are so cute. And then I just double check and make sure we fit and we're good. And that's how I get my embeds ready. So let me get this last one done and we will get the base soap made and get this moon dust soap going in the mold. It's time to add our soap additives, but I'm going to read the scent description for this moon dust fragrance because it's so pretty and I couldn't put my thumb on it and it's a mouthful, so let me read it to you here. It says, this enchanting fragrance oil opens with fruity notes of red berries, succulent tangerine, and citrusy bergamot. The aroma unfolds, leading to effervescent notes of champagne, cyclamen, which I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a floral. Violet leaves sitting on warm base of gentle cashmere, amber, and musk. So it's got a little fruity, it's got a little floral, it's got a little musky. It's just really enchanting. It's a good fragrance. So now let's get in my kaolin clay and organic colloidal oats and 2 tablespoons of each, and we'll get this blended up. And then my aloe vera lye solution, when it's all cooled and ready to go, we will get moving forward making the soap. And of course I've got the embeds off to the side all cut and ready to go down in here. So let's get this blended up. Okay, I just have a last minute thing that I want to do to my moon embeds. I have this very gorgeous seaside glitter from Be Scented, And I also have, this is just an eco glitter that I got a long time ago, and I can't even remember where I got it. This is going to go on top to represent like little stars for the moon dust, you know, kind of shiny, starry night. And I wanted to take this blue, I have it in a puffer bottle, and just coat the outside of my moons with. So when I set them down, I want them to sort of have a shimmery halo is what I'm trying to get to. So I'm going to take my little red cap off here, and I'm going to spritz these with rubbing alcohol so that they're tacky and the glitter will stick to them. And I have them on this little tray here so that I won't make hopefully not too huge of a mess. But you know, if we get a little messy, it's all right. No big deal. It's all in the name of love. So get these all wetted up, and I know I'm going to get a lot of glitter on the thing, but oh, there we go. These little puffer jars are so cute. I should just sprinkle it on. This is kind of slow, the puffer jar. Yeah, let me do that. All right, the little puffy thing was too slow, so I'm going to just take that off and just kind of sprinkle here. I just was thinking I want the moons to have like a little shimmery halo. You know, sometimes how the moon will get like a beautiful halo around it. I don't know if it's blue sparkly halo, but that's what ours is going to be, blue sparkly halo. I just thought it sounded pretty. And I had the glitter, and I have not used this glitter yet. It's been sitting on the shelf, and it's so gorgeous, and I haven't really thought of a way or a reason to use it, and I thought this soap would make the perfect time to pull it down. So here we go. Hope it comes out. You know, there's only one way to find out. We got to give it a try, and we won't know till we cut this how it came out, but that's kind of fun, isn't it? All right, these are all ready. Going to set them off to the side and get my lye and oils over here, and let's make some soap. All right, we're back with the aloe vera lye solution that has cane sugar, tussa silk fibers, and sodium lactate. That's what's going on in here, and it is a 50-50 split of distilled water and aloe vera juice. And I wanted to mention, in my gray color, I added just a touch of activated charcoal. It was just looking a little light for me, a little silvery, and I wanted it to have more of a darker night sky tone. So a little activated charcoal took care of that. And this, the fragrance is already in the oils, by the way, because this is a very well-behaving fragrance. And I will be doing it in the Pot Swirl today, just because with the embeds and everything, I think it's just going to handle much easier, and I want it to be very sort of galactic, galaxy swirly. So in the Pot Swirl is where we're going. right, it's the next day. It's been about 24 hours and look at that top. I was a little bummed out. The lighting in my studio, I have a lot of overhead lighting, and so when this was wet and glossy, I couldn't get good pictures or videos of how pretty it looks. But today, it looks beautiful, and just a hint of glimmer, like little starry, sparkly night. So I'm excited to get in here, see how those moons look, and the In the Pot Swirl and all that. So let's get in here and see what we've got going on. Back with the lovely Olga, and I'm so excited to get in here. You guys, these colors are just delightful to me. I'm so happy, and I'm really glad that I added just a touch of activated charcoal to that blue too, to make it a little bit more midnight blue. That gorgeous blue is definitely gorgeous, but I wanted a nighttime feel, and so I think, oh wow, I think the activated charcoal definitely got me there. That is really cool. And just a little bit of starry shimmer on top. And you can barely make out the little blue halo. I'm so glad I put that glitter around the moon. It's very subtle, but it's there, and super, super happy. Oh, these are giving me all the feels. I love it. And this fragrance, not only does it smell really divine, but it behaves like a dream in cold process soap. So 2 thumbs way up for me for the moon dust. Oh, these are so cute, and I'm loving the moons. That is so it was a little fluid when I did the In the Pot Swirl, and that's why I have such beautiful, almost, wavy looking. I'm loving it. It's like galaxy. Love, love, love. Oh, it's so fun cutting into soaps, especially In the Pot Swirl. You just have no idea what you're going to get, and it's like a little surprise. Each bar is a surprise. Love it. All right, let's keep on cutting. Okay, getting into the next loaf. So pretty. Yeah, let's talk about this fragrance and slow-moving fragrances. I've talked about this before. When you have a very slow-moving fragrance, even though I put sodium lactate in the lye solution, which did help me unmold it today, I am probably going to go ahead and wait a day or two before I come in and bevel and stamp, because it's a little soft today. That almost looks like a mountain range, doesn't it? So cool. But yeah, so slow-moving fragrances can take a little longer to firm up in the mold. And that's fine. I can wait a couple days. Sometimes I get impatient, but I'm learning to be patient. Oh, cool. So yeah, anytime you have a fragrance that's a slow mover, that's something to keep in mind, even with the sodium lactate. And but the reverse of that isn't always true. If you have a very fast-moving soap that turned into soap on a stick, or you had a really hard time getting it in the mold, it still needs that 24-hour saponification process before you unmold. So this, unless it's a salt soap, golly, I'm backtracking. Salt soaps, I like to put gloves on and unmold them. You can unmold them as soon as they firm up. But for regular cold process soap, even if it moved really fast, you still need to wait about 24 hours before you unmold. That's just a really good suggestion. And so yeah, the reverse is not always true. Oh, I love that moon. All right, let's get into that last loaf. Okay, last loaf here. We'll get in here. And yeah, I'm probably going to wait at least another 24, if not 48 hours before I come back in and bevel and cut. And I am still filling my soap scrap bucket for Eco Soap Bank. So I shave my shavings into my bucket and then I dump it into my soap scrap box that I am waiting till it is absolutely jam-packed full before I send it off. So I'll be doing that, stamping, all the normal stuff. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you give the embed recipe a try. It's just a nice basic soap, cold processed soap recipe. You could make a loaf with it too. It's just I wanted to scale down to make my little embeds, and so that recipe again is down in the description box. And when I say description box, it can say show more or be a little upside down arrow. That's the description box. If you tap on that, it'll open up a whole thing with all my links and recipe and all that good stuff. So that's what's going on down there. So again, thank you for joining me. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me, and I hope you have a really wonderful day.